Maria here. Blessings to you as you're coming in. Let me know that you're here. I am Tanika Maria, coming out here on Periscope. Let's see. Hope you guys can hear okay. Hey there, everybody. I'm back on my laptop again and not doing a car scope. But I'm Tanika Maria here. Wanted to come out here real quick and take this moment to share with you just one nugget that I put out on my Instagram page. And if you're not following me on Instagram, I encourage you to go do that at Get Real Be Healed. But as you're coming in, put in the chat, let me know that you're here, because that's the only way I can really tell on this laptop that folks are here. I do believe there are people on the line. But chat, let me know where you're coming from. Let me see you. Say hey. Let me know that you're out there. Again, Tanika Maria here. I'm a woman of God, a child of God, a daughter of the King, and I'm all about helping you get real, be healed, and move forward in emotional wholeness, peace, and clarity. Again, let me see your name. Let me see somebody type something in the chat before I get started with this teaching so that I know that you hear me okay and that I'm not just talking and you guys cannot get a good connection. So let me know. Say hey, say something in the chat to let me know that you can hear okay and that it's coming through. So I don't want to waste time and go further if you guys cannot hear. Can someone say something in the chat to let me know that you're listening and that you can hear? So today we're going to be talking about it's not personal, it's protocol. It's not personal. It's not personal, it's protocol. Let me know that you're here and let me know that you guys can hear me, because I definitely don't see any activity before I have to stop the broadcast, because I need to know that you guys are able to hear me okay. Thank you. Finally, somebody. Oh my God, because I was going to cut y'all off because I can't be talking to the air. It's hard to get out here enough as it is. Thank you so much, Christy. Thank you so much, Deandra. Blessings to you. It's not personal. It's protocol. It is protocol. And so this is for those of you who are in these different situations and you've kind of had to back away from certain individuals. You've had to like set a new boundary. You've had to like perhaps end a relationship. Perhaps you've kind of like had to ease quietly out of a situation. And it may have been painful for you. Most of the time it is, especially if it's a breakup. And you have to get your bearings. You know what I mean? You have to take that time and that space to just get yourself together. And so if you make the decision that, okay, I'm not going to be like talking to you and calling you like I was every day. I'm not going to be texting every day like I used to. I mean, we can't be like that again. Come on, is anyone in that situation? Or you've been in a situation? And see, this is what makes it hard for us to break soul ties. This is what makes it hard for us. We know that this thing is over. We know that it can't go on like after all that's been said, after all the dust has settled, and now we're at this place. We can't keep engaging like we buddy. We can't keep engaging like it was before. We can't do that. And so sometimes you just have to say, look, I have to cut that level of communication. It's not personal. Put in the chat if you're listening. It's not personal. It's protocol. It's not personal. It's protocol. Sometimes you have to take a step back. Sometimes you have to stop calling them. You can't keep texting. You're not going to heal right if you keep engaging at the same level that you were before. Sometimes you have to end that communication. That hurts, especially if you've been in a cadence, if you've been in a rhythm of daily conversing, daily sharing life and doing stuff and talking and chit-chatting every day, and now you got to cut that thing. That's hard. That's hard, and you feel that, and it takes strength. And this is why we keep getting entangled. This is why we're in situationships. This is why we're in these enmeshed, weird, toxic, dynamic situations, because we don't know how to just cut it. It's not personal. It's protocol for you to get to a healthy place. For you to, it's not, you're not being bad, and may not even be permanent, but it needs to be if you're in a dynamic and you're in a toxic situation, you end and you break that thing. You don't need to like try to hang on to little strings to prove it. Oh, I don't want them to think I'm bad of me. I'm trying to hang on a little bit and still kind of be talking because I don't want them to think I'm a bad. No, it's not personal. Hey, Dollface. Hey, Stella. It's protocol. That's one of my people on YouTube, Stella. It's not personal. It's protocol. Sometimes for you to get to a healthy place, especially in a painful breakup situation, you have to disconnect so that you can get your bearings. It's called establishing a new boundary. If you've been like this with somebody and it got toxic and you have to split, you can't keep like trying to like keep it like, no, you have to have a clean enough break so that you can get your bearings. You have to have a clean enough break so that you can reestablish who you were before, when y'all were all enmeshed and entangled and all close together and stuff. And now part of you is with them and you with them. And now we got to separate this thing. You can't keep engaging, right? And I know I'm very with my hands and stuff, but that's the only way I know how to describe it. You have to make that split, right? And it's not personal, it's protocol. You're not being ugly. You're not being bad. You're not being mad. You're not being vindictive or manipulative. And you're not trying to prove some kind of point. And you're not feeling, quote, some kind of way. Now, you may be hurting. You may have some anger. You will have to grieve it. A lot of us get in trouble because we don't properly grieve our relationships that end, right? And so part of it, we delay our grieving process. Well, you know that thing is dead. You know that's not God's best for you in the present state of that current relationship. You know in your heart of hearts that thing cannot function in a healthy way for you or for that other person. You know there has to be a disconnect, but you won't fully grieve it or heal right as long as you're still trying to act like y'all buddy friends and like it was before and all lovey-dovey or whatever. That's going to delay your healing process. That's going to keep you stuck. That's going to keep you in a weird little awkward dynamic, and it's going to be more painful. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to them. It's not personal. Y'all are quiet today. It's not personal. It's protocol. You're not being bad. When you decide, okay, I'm not going to keep texting. I'm not going to keep calling. I'm not going to keep engaging in FaceTiming and Google Duo or whatever. We're going to stop this. I need to heal. I need to reestablish my boundary for my own emotional and mental health. Sometimes the wisest and best thing for you to do is to cease and desist. Say cease and desist. It's not personal, my people. It's protocol. Sometimes it's best to cease and desist with certain people, either permanently or for a short period of time, so that when you do engage with them again, you've established a new boundary. They can't come to you the same way because you've ended the relationship in its formal form. And should that person circle back in your life again, they're going to have to come to you in a different way. They don't have the same access because, see, you've moved them from the inner court of your life to the outer court. From the inner court to the outer court. An inner court person doesn't have the same access as an outer court person. If you were once in my inner court and now we've ended it and I've cut the communication gracefully, with dignity, quietly, come on, no ratchet breakups. We're not talking about ratchet breakups and ratchet friendship endings and get all that kind of stuff. Excuse my language. But we've ended it in a graceful way. We've ended it in a way that honors God. And now it's not personal, people. It is protocol when we cut the communication so that I can reestablish myself, reestablish my sense of self, especially if it was really close, especially if it was romantic, somebody you were involved with. And now I gotta get my bearings. That thing hurt. If that person shows up again, and you are able to be friends, it's going to be different. Why? Because you're different and they're different. Because you established a strong boundary. You respected yourself enough to allow yourself to have a healthy grief process. You respected yourself enough to cut that tie in the negative, toxic way that it was, to not like, I don't want to keep engaging. I miss them, and I don't want to cut it so hard. And I just want us to be friends, and I don't want to work them to be thinking bad of me and thinking I'm just cold. No. No, it's not personal. It's protocol. And you respected your own sanity. You respected your own healing process enough to say, okay, I got to step back. You got to remember who you are as a child of God. You got to remember who you are and what you carry as a child of God. Christ paid a price for your liberty. Christ paid a price for your wholeness. And when you establish a boundary around yourself, you are helping to maintain what Christ paid for. Let me say that again. Christ paid a price for your liberty. Christ paid a price for your wholeness. And your boundary is what helps maintain that in place. Come on. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. And when we put that boundary in place, and again, it may not be permanent. That person could circle back again, and you'll see them, and you'll be able to engage and say, hey, and maintain some type of a contact lightly or whatever, but it'll be different. And it will, because you've established that boundary, because you didn't try to like linger and lurk around, and you don't want to do the grief work, and you couldn't go 2 days without listening to their voice, and you couldn't go 2 days without that good morning text message, and you couldn't go 2 days without that good night text or that good night call, and now you're feeling like you're hyper. Oh my God. Let yourself feel that pain. Let yourself go through that process, because it won't stay like that. It's not personal. It's protocol. It gives you a chance to get your bearings so that you don't act in your emotions and out of character. This is especially important in a breakup. If you keep trying to be enmeshed and engaged with them, and you're all strung out emotionally, you're not going to be showing up in your best, right? You're not going to show up. But if you take a step back and stop with the texting, stop with the calling, stop with the FaceTiming, whatever you're doing, if you take that step back, you'll be able to get your bearings so that you won't act out of character, and so that you won't respond emotionally. The next thing, that when you take that step back, and again, when you do this, it's not personal, it's protocol. It gives you clarity on the situation. If you can endure that period where you're missing, if you can endure that period where you feel that pain of not communicating, if you can get past those first few weeks, you're going to get greater clarity, especially if you're praying, especially if you're seeking God, especially if you're journaling and writing and asking God to show you stuff in that process while you're crying and in pain and grieving it. You're not reaching out, you're not texting, you're not trying to keep engaging. You're going to get clarity. You're going to get clarity. The third thing, that taking that step back, and again, this is not personal, it's protocol. When you do this, it's a personal protocol to keep your boundaries. It helps you get your sense of worthiness built back up, and your esteem. This is especially true and critical if you've been in a toxic relationship. You have to have that step away to get yourself back. This is really, really important. Then the next thing, and I'm going down my quick list here, that when you stop with that unnecessary communication, when you allow yourself to feel those painful feelings, when you allow yourself to grieve it, when you allow yourself to feel what it feels like to not talk to them for 2 or 3 days, and to go a long time, a lot of stuff will come up, and you will definitely get some wisdom. But see, we forfeit that because we give into our feelings. We forfeit the wisdom and the lesson of that situation because we can't last 5 minutes. We just give in and we capitulate to the emotions. But if you can just hold on and hold your ground and hold your boundary in place, you'll be able to get the wisdom. Hey, Tasha, you'll be able to get that wisdom. And then fifth, as I said before, I think I gave 5, and this is a 5th thing, and I think I already said it, but it's going to establish a new boundary with that person in that situation going forward. Once you've made that hard stance, and it feels hard and it's a little rough, But you will be in a better position if that thing comes around again. If it comes around again in a different form than what it was previously, you'll have better respect about yourself. You'll be stronger. You'll have proper boundaries in place. There's going to be a newness and a freshness with you personally, because you're not the same person. If you've done your healing work, you're not the same person that you were when you were in it earlier. Again, this is not personal. It is protocol. It's protocol. That's right. That's right. Thank you guys for being here. And if you haven't done so, share this out. This is a really, really quick little teaching because I know I need to get off in a minute. But I just wanted to share that with you, especially for those of you that have a hard time at doing no contact. Those of you that you've entered a situation and it's just so hard for you to not talk. It's so hard for you to not reach out. You just don't know what to do with yourself, right? And you just keep getting caught up. But I just want to encourage you that when you do that, when you make the decision, okay, I'm going to cease and desist with the communication, then it's going to strengthen you. You're going to be better off and you will be in a better position. It definitely is not personal against that person, but it is for you to build up your boundaries to help you. Get Real, Be Healed, Dial Face, and stay on YouTube, because those of you that are on Periscope, I'm actually trying to transition more to YouTube. So those of you that are listening to me now, find me on YouTube. And I'm on Tanika Bria, and you will find me on YouTube and follow me there, because I'm slowly trying to transition fully to YouTube. So definitely, if you're listening, take a moment, find me on YouTube. And you can find me on Periscope too, Stella, but it's better to stay with me on YouTube, amen, because I'm streaming to both platforms. It's not personal, it's protocol. And lastly, again, this is a really quick, but I wanted to take a moment to invite you to a year-end masterclass that I'm having. Absolutely, whatever you sow your own seed, whatever you are led to do, because my heart is to pour out, to give as much as I can. And I'm having this class on Zoom on December 17th. I highly encourage you, don't delay in signing up. If you've been praying and you're on this Periscope, you're on this YouTube channel right now watching, and you're in that place where you got residue and you got regrets and you're feeling some kind of way and you're stuck and your nerves are on edge, and you want to go forward in 2021 with this stuff washed off, and you're tired of mucking around in the ashes of 2020, God can't give us beauty for the ashes if we keep digging in the ashes, right? God can't give me beauty for my ashes if I keep engaging with someone that I know is not healthy for me. God can't give me beauty for my ashes that I accumulated in 2020 if I don't take the time to release that residue and let him heal my heart. And so if this is for you, then you need to be there. I encourage you to take action. Sign up for this masterclass. The link is in my Periscope bio. And I have it on YouTube, but you can also find it on my Instagram page at Get Real, Be Healed. YouTube is also Get Real, Be Healed. But sign up for this. You sow your own seed. You name your own investment. It's up to you. It's up to you. This is your chance. You've been praying. You've been asking God, like, God, I don't know. I need to go. I'm talking to you, boo. I'm talking to you. So sign up, and I'm going to have live Q&A. I want to share more than I normally would share on Periscope on these public platforms, because it's a private Zoom session. This is for my ladies. This is for my sisters only. Be me and you, and we're going to go in, and I'm going to share and pour out, give you tools, strategies, give you real value for the time that you're going to spend. December 17th, 7:00 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Thursday, December 17th, 7:00 p.m. Eastern Time on Zoom. Once you sign up, you'll get on the list, and I'll send out information for it as we get closer to that time with the links and what you need and everything. But follow me on YouTube. Find me on Instagram on Get Real, Be Healed. You can see the link there in my bio in both Periscope and on Instagram. And let's clean up what's happened in 2020 together. For some, 2020 has been a great year, but for most of us, We've had our blessings in it, but we've also been through a lot of transitions. We've been through loss. We've been through a lot of shakeups and a lot of stuff. And we can grin and smile and hem and haw all we want to, but a lot of us are hurting. A lot of us got a lot of stuff going on in our hearts and in our minds and in our spirits. God, I want to go into 2021 serene. I want to go into it stable. I want to go into it knowing that I'm loved in a deeper way and that I'm accepted. And I want to come in a straight foundation, not all with this stuff in my head from the past. Go back and listen to the scope I did yesterday or the video I did yesterday. We're still looking back. We're still looking back at our mistakes, still looking at what happened, still rehashing the story, replaying the wreck, ruminating and digging around in the ashes. And God is like, baby, come up higher. I'm ready to take you out of that. Come on, let me shift that mind so that when the thoughts about what happened and what he did and what she said and how that situation went down, Lord, help me to cast it down. Let me renew my mind from what happened in 2020. Oh, come on. And so if you're in that place, I encourage you, I'm speaking to you. Yes, you. Get online, click and type that, get in for that masterclass and go ahead and register. Go ahead and register. And again, it's any amount that you are able to sow in your heart to do. And I'm pouring out as much as I can in this one. It's a couple of hours. It'll be a couple of hours at 7:00 Eastern time. So I want you to get in on it. I want to keep it small because I'll share more of my personal testimony in that. And so that I share things that I won't necessarily share here. And I just want to pour out and to share what God has given to me. Amen. So definitely be a part of that. And remember, those of you, and we're in the season where, come January is the highest divorce month. If you go to any divorce attorney, they say that January is the highest month that people file. So you're going to see a lot of stuff coming up in the next few months. And those of you that are in toxic dynamics now, those of you, your stuff is not right now. Let's go ahead and begin that process. Let's talk about these things. Let's heal. I want to enter into 2021 wholehearted, not broken, not fragmented, not still chasing for crumbs of attention, not trying to struggle to be loved and all of that kind of stuff. Just want to be whole. Just want to be whole. How about you? How about you? Amen, everybody. Well, I'm short of my time, but I wanted to make sure I came out here really quickly to just encourage you, to let you know that you're loved. I always say this because I feel like it's so important that God is aware of you, that he is mindful of you, and that he sees you. God is sensitive towards everything that you need, and he's highly aware. The problem is we're so blocked up, we're so discombobulated and distracted that we can't see it. And the more at peace and the more at rest we are then that's the more that we can sense God. When I'm in a place of peace and when I'm in a place of rest, then I can sense and hear the voice of God. But if I'm distracted and discombobulated, if I'm wounded and tore up out of my frame due to the pain, and I'm just in a struggle, it's going to be really hard for you to sense that God loves you because you're too preoccupied. You're too tore up and out of your frame. You're too much feeling some kind of way. And see, God is not like the way we paint him to be, right? And so I encourage you to know these things and to remember, catch the top of this if you're just joining. It's not personal, it's protocol. Come join me for the masterclass. Click the link in the bio. And I look forward to seeing everybody very soon. So I'll be out here again. Take care. Take care. Bye-bye.